Hello and welcome to week 11 in the history of psychology. And in this chapter, chapter 10, we continue discussing behaviorism, but we're looking at its beginnings, not the antecedents, but the beginnings. But we get to meet John Watson a little bit more. So Watson appears on the scene, as we talked about in the last chapter, and he's critical of the state of psychology at that time. So he introduces what he feels are the necessary components for studying human behavior. He says we should base it on observation. We should have specific testing methods that give us measurable outcomes. We should take verbal reports from individuals, interestingly, very similar to introspection, but nonetheless, take those verbal reports and really emphasize the idea of conditioned reflex in the processes of learning. That was he felt the focus of psychology should be on. Now, this is a period of time in history where psychology is becoming very, very popular. Different psychologists are publishing within not only the journals for their profession, but they're publishing articles out in the world. They're being brought in. This is sort of the age of when psychologists are being brought in to write articles for like Harper's Magazine or for newspapers or whatever, declaring what psychology is finding out in terms of mental health, mental fitness. So the popularity of psychologists getting involved in the media is sort of happening at the same time in history. The whole idea centered around the philosophy of positivism, meaning if you are not feeling well, if you are not feeling depressed, or you're feeling unmotivated, any one of those things that we might consider as happening in the public, psychology has some answers. Therapy, activities, and these are proven areas that proven strategies that people can have to improve their lives and how they feel. Very, very cool stuff. So, given the idea that we're looking at this age of social psych, of the methodologies that are being used and the increase in different testing situations and whatnot, I open up the chapter with, basically some forbidden experiments. So, in discussion 10, what I would like you to review is the history of experiments that kind of relying on this new idea of, you know, uh, uh, permissive examinations of people under testing conditions. Some of these, if not all of these, particular studies could never happen again. They actually give rise to the current ethical standards. A lot of them arose from these studies, but let's review those studies that we could never do again, talk about them in the discussion board, and wonder what the world was like at the point in which this was okay to do. And then in the quiz, I'm simply asking you to reiterate and describe the specific methodologies that Watson was pinpointing as the need to implement within the field of experimental psychology, social psychology, those kinds of things. So that's it for this week. So have a great week. See you in the discussion boards and take care.